Okay, we got another exciting game on Fort Deen, and it's everybody's favorite map. So I had this proof of concept I wanted to go into because everybody's just doing this turtle stuff, and so I'm gonna be playing the Brute Chieftain, and I'm not gonna spoil it right off the bat. So here I'm going to go straight into a Banshee Rush build. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upgrade to Citadel immediately and throw down a supply pad and throw down a bunch of supply pads to get my eco going, and then my plan is to go double summit, so I could double pump the Banshees. So I'm sitting out my chopper to gather crates. I need to get a few crates to build my temple at some point.
Warehouse complete.
So I'm just queuing up here, and I wanna get some. I need to get at least 3 crates. So right now it's just a waiting game for my resource pads to come up, and I'm kind of vulnerable here because I'm doing this build this way. So if I get rushed, it's gonna be pretty bad for me. So I'm just kind of holding my breath here. And so I put that supply pad down, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I do this with the turret. That increases your field of view. Then I delete it to check to see what's around my base. And all I see are those supplies right there. So I'm like, oh, cool, free supplies. I'll get those as well. So I'm still busy building supply pads. Got to get my eco up because I got to get my temple up. And I'm going temple last here.
I'll do it.
I'll get my temple out, and then I'll put down another supply pad so I can start upgrading my supply pads, because you need a tech level 1 to actually upgrade into... Well, I guess they're warehouses on Covenants, to get the blessed warehouses. So I'm gonna get these, and I'm checking to see what's going on, and then, oh shit, I see that the Brute Chieftain's over here. He starts vortexing. I'm like, I gotta get my chopper out of there. So I'm like, hey, yo, we're getting rushed here. And right now I'm in a really bad spot because I have no units out. My temple's building. I will have a Brute Chieftain. I'm checking. I'm like 83%. Oh, okay, I can do something here with the Brute Chieftain. But we all know that we're about to get rushed. And Blue looks like he's about to get some Warthogs up. My leader temple gets up, so, you know, at least I've got a unit on the field. And there comes the Teal Chieftain right in, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta shut down this rush. So he's porting in brute squads, and I'm like, I gotta kill these brute squads off because brute rush, it's one of people's favorite things to do. So, you know, these guys are gonna do a hell of a lot of damage to my pads. I gotta shut this down immediately. So I'm like, yo, I'm getting attacked by Teal Chieftain here. And so he's got Gunner, and he's gonna assist. So he's gonna put some damage on this pad. I believe I had turned that into a blessed pad, so that's gonna suck. I drop a turret there, and then I'm going to drop another turret in the front. So he takes a little damage to the vortex. This is not how I wanted this game to start, but I can see why. So I'm gonna have my chieftain attack his chieftain, and then I guess their cutter is like, I'm gonna Mac blast you. So I'm like, I'm getting out of the way, and I don't know whose cutter this is actually. So I lose a pad there. That sucks. And then for whatever reason, he's gonna Mac blast my temple. Okay, I got the turret up. So I'm gonna put another turret up over here. I'm gonna do the crisscross strategy. So, and then he Mac blasts my temple, and I'm not a fan of that. And he's gonna vortex the fuck out of my temple. I guess they want to deny me a tech level, so I'm gonna put up a summit there, because it looks like this rush is coming to an end. He's not doing as they're not doing as well as they want on this rush, and these were some tense moments for me. This is not how I wanted to start this game off.
Turret complete.
So he's going to come back here. I got this turret firing on him. I got the chieftain attacking him. And I believe Blue's eventually going to come and put some more Warthog fire. Yeah, he's got some more Warthogs. We're putting a lot of fire on the chieftain. He's red bar. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get my chopper down here to put some damage on him with a ram. And Oh, we get him. Yeah. So that rush gets shut down. I'm going to put up another summit. And I'm looking at everything. My temple's nearly dead. So I'm going to be like, I'm not going to double pump. I'm going to put up a shield generator because I cannot take a love tap to my temple right now. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, I got a Banshee. I'm going to make a counter push. I'm definitely going to be, I'm going to make a counter push. And I don't think they see that I have, I don't think they noticed that I put this summit up. So unfortunately, I still have the summit building. And in a moment, I'm like, you know what? I need to delete this. My temple is so close to dying that if they bring over a Warthog with Gunner, it is going to be game over. So I'm going to put my Banshees over here. And I'm like, this is where I notice. I'm like, yeah, my temple is messed up. So I'm going to put up a shield generator just to preserve it. And then I'm going to pump out to like 5 Banshees, get boost, and then I'm going to go over and counter harass because their rush failed, and I need to seize the opportunity to do some damage to them.
Of course. Rolling. Where to?
So there's not much going on right now. I'm just crafting Banshees and trying to upgrade my supply pads. I'm a little behind. Because I had to put in a little work to... I had to put up those turrets. I had to put up everything. I see that blue has tanks. I'm like, okay, that's good. So I'm going to delete these turrets to get a little money back. So that I could craft some Banshees. Don't get much money back for that one because it was damaged. And I'm about ready. So I'm going to go scout them out. This guy is going full supply pads. Don't know why. He lost his Brute Chieftain. I go scout them out. See what's going on.
Boost research.
So I got to clear out this expo.
Enemy engagement.
So I got boost. I'm going to call up my Banshees here. I lose my chopper on Green's base because he has turrets. And I roll up on Teal Chieftain, and I'm going to make some more Banshees, and I'm going to start stripping his pads. And I target that other one for some reason. I see Teal Chieftain coming up, and he starts vortexing, and I'm like, I got to get these guys out of the way. That vortex is going to do damage. I'm just going to kite him around. And I'm going to keep crafting Banshees. So I'm going to boost them out of the way so that Teal Chieftain can't do anything, and looks like I'm going to head up to Red's base to harass him. So I don't really do much to Teal Chieftain here, and he's putting up turrets because holy shit, this dude's making a counter push. And I'm going to start stripping these turrets. So he's bringing in his army. He's got a Spartan here. I'm like, I got to kill that. That is super dangerous. He could jack one of my Banshees with that, so I'm gonna target that Spartan down and kill it. So I go to the back of Red's base. I see this vehicle depot. I'm like, I'm gonna kill that. I don't want him to make any vehicles. And so blue is making a counter push up here as well. Good on blue. So he's checking out to see what's going on. And I believe I'm gonna get this vehicle depot. Teal Chieftain's over here. He's trying to stop me. My Banshees are being kind of stupid. I definitely want to kill this vehicle depot to put them behind on crafting units. So, let's see. Alright, I'm not even sure if I got the vehicle depot there. So I'm going to boost over to Green's base, see what's going on over there. He's got turrets. I'm not really interested in fighting this right now. But I guess I try to fight it.
Warehouse upgraded. I see him. All units.
I'm not sure what I'm doing here, actually. Oh, I see this vehicle depot. But I decided to go over the turret, and blue is making a push up into the far right corner. He finds the expo that red just put down. I think they're coming to attack my Banshee, so he has caught them with their pants down. And I'm going to pump out to a few more Banshees. I'm going to go back here, and they have healed up this vehicle depot, so I'm going to try to attack it again. And Teal Chieftain's on our side for whatever reason. He's starting to craft vampires, and I'm like, okay, this sucks. This Expo's about to eat it. So, unfortunately, vampires, that's going to be a hard counter to my Banshees, and I'm going to be like, okay, I don't really want to keep going into Banshees because they're not going to do what I want them to do at this point in the game because he's got anti-air. Even though I'm still punching them out, I'm going to go search over here to see if there's an Expo. It looks like it was just cleared out. So I'm going to go keep checking Expos. Because I know I'm behind right now. And Blue's making a push on, I guess, Red's main base. Still a Rebel base here, so I'm like, I'll go check back here. Maybe he went and put an Expo while I wasn't looking. And then I find the Green's Expo. And so what I do is I kill it. So he's got 3 Spartan takes over here. I'm going to move my Banshees out of the way. I'm going to put some damage down on this Expo while it's building. It has low defense. And I'm going to kill Green's Expo here. And for whatever reason, I go back to Green's main base. And I think it's about this point that I'm like, okay, I better stop pushing out Banshees. I'm going to kill one of these turrets, though, but they have anti-air going. And I think he's going to get his vampires to creep up on me.
Warehouse upgraded.
So I'm like, okay, I need to Expo at this point. I need more money, and I'm going to need units.
Ready to fight. All units.
And they drop a healing ring here. I don't know why people do this. The healing ring doesn't do anything. And here comes the vampires. And I try to boost out of the way, but they get me in the stasis, and I can't do anything. So I delete that Banshee, and I'm going to just let those die and go into vampires and hunters. Because I see that they're building vehicles, and he's building vampires. So what I'm going to try to do is catch his vampires off guard with my vampires and kill them.
Outpost ready.
So Teal is making an Expo over there. And I think Blue has this idea that he wants to kill that Expo. Even though my Banshees are over here putting some damage on his main base.
All units.
So I kind of want to get my Banshees up here to deny the Expo. And I'm like, yo, go attack this Expo. While it's weak.
Enemy engaged.
So I believe Blue is going to push up on this Expo. No, Blue goes and finds Red's Expo right there and attacks it. He has a vampire over here, so this isn't a good spot for my Banshees. And it doesn't really matter to me. I'm like, I'm going out of the Banshee game. For whatever reason, he's creating Banshees, but I'm going to go into anti-air. I mistakenly built a hall there in my adrenaline mode right now. So I delete it, and I'm going to keep trying to get this Expo up. So I'm actually really behind. I need to start getting units on the field, and I need to start getting the research down. I also need to get more supply pads up because my economy is not the greatest. So I'm going into Tech 2 so that I can get stronger units. I really need to get units on the field and get some research down because of how behind I am right now. But I think that our counter pushes have put them in a place that I want them to be right now. Which is a place where I can actually get to building units and researching. So this is kind of one of the things you do is that once you see that they built like a counter unit to your units, you got to play the head games to switch things up. So I know that Green is going into vehicles, and I believe Red's going into vehicles as well. So I want some hunters on the field, and since Teal is going into anti-air and air, I want some vampires as well. And so I'm going to have this mix of hunters and vampires on the field, which is going to be a really non-standard mix. And thankfully, my allies have kept me pretty much safe at this point. So yellow has seized the 3 garrisons right behind Teal's base, and I'm going to pull this Mad Lat strat off, so I'm super pleased with this development.
Warehouse complete.
So red is making another expo, and blue is like, I gotta deny that. So he goes in, does some microing, and takes away red's expo, and I'm like, yo, what's going on here? We need to make sure we got these bases scouted. So we've got plenty of vampires here. They've got banshees. And I'm like, okay, I need to start pumping out vampires too, because I need to help out my teammates. Because those tanks are not going to do well. I thought, you know, that they would handle the anti-air themselves because they were going into tanks. But I see there, I'm like, oh, he's building Cobras. He's going anti-vehicle. I'm like, oh no. So Cutter is going ODSTs, which I expect Cutter to do. I'm not sure they're ODSTs right yet. But I believe there is a Cutter on the other team. So I've got 2 Citadels now, and I want to make sure I'm getting my eco going.
All units.
Checking out my population. It's really bad right now, because I had to do this tech switch and everything. That rush in the beginning was not good for my health. But we have made some pretty good counter pushes. Now I want my units over here. So I'm going to put my flag down there. So when they actually come out the bases, they're going to go over there. And I probably should have put my vampires over by my expo instead of the rest of my units, because that would have got me. That would have let me get them in the fight quicker. So I do think that yellow has ODSTs at this point. So I'm pumping out units. They're not going to do much at this point because I really don't have research on them. So yellow, unfortunately, is going into air units, even though he has seen these vampires, and I believe they have Wolverines at this point. So this is a pretty ballsy move by yellow. But I will be coming in with an assist with my vampires to take out Teal's vampires at some point. So I send a vampire over to scout because I want to see what's going on with these expos. So I find that green has 2 bases over here. And I don't know why I didn't get that vampire back. Well, it's just 1 unit, so it did what I wanted it to do. It scouted. I'm slowly but surely getting my population up.
All units.
I'm like, where am I? I want a mix of 10 hunters and 10 vampires.
Enemy engagement.
So they show up and kill that vampire. I was trying to get it out. And vampires show up because yellow attacked red's base with his air units.
All units.
I don't really know what our yellow cutter should have done differently. I guess Hornets is fine because he's actually I think he's decent at attacking different bases from us. This is where the enemy team runs into the huge problem, is that we start attacking multiple bases at the same time, and they cannot deal with this. So I'm still trying to get my population up, and I'm going to punch out an engineer. I'm like, okay, I need to try to heal this temple because any love taps to my temple is going to destroy it if they could get the shield generator down. But I'm actually looking pretty good right about now.
All units. Engineer ready. All units.
So I'm going to get this engineer down here to heal my temple. So I can't have a 10-10 mix at this point because of the engineers.
All units.
So I decided, you know, I'm going to go a little heavier on the hunters. I'm going to go 10 hunters, 9 vampires, and just let the dice go where they can. So I'm checking out what's going on with this fight up here. This push is getting shut down. And at this point, I do start researching Spirit Bonds and Stasis Drain to make my units tougher. And I start researching Jump Pack. Now, I know a lot of people have seen early game pushes with the Brute units because they are really good. They do a lot of damage in the early game, so it's hard to deal with them unless you're able to pump out Jackals and Flamethrowers to take care of them. And you rarely see them in late game, but I'm going to make use of them here. Yeah, so I'm going to pump out some more Hunters, and then I'm going to get another Vampire.
Stasis Drain research.
So my guys are looking pretty good right now because I got some research on them. And I believe I'm going to maybe pump out another Engineer here to speed up the healing.
All units.
I guess somebody's doing a switch on my team there. Blue's doing a switch because he wants to get some stuff. Or maybe he had a Field Armory and wanted to blow that up because he got all he wanted. Blue, I believe, is Forge. So not much for my chieftain here. So where is it? Yeah, so there's just some downtime right here. It looks like everybody's recuperating from the last battle. Getting this engineer to heal up my main base since it took some damage. And then green is going to push up in the center. And this is unfortunate for me. And to see Warthogs here, they are Goss Hogs, but thank goodness I did not get pushed with Goss Hogs in the, you know. Those are also devastating units to deal with. But they didn't really help out the chieftain there with the rush.
Age of Reclamation research.
So now I'm Tech 3. I'm good. Yes, I do pump out a second engineer. Yellow's going to make another push with his air units there. And I see these vampires.
All units.
So I'm like, it's time to go in. So I hit them with the stasis drain there. I'm gonna try to clear the skies because Yellow is making a push, and I do not want these anti-air units going onto his air units.
Enemy engagement.
And unfortunately, my vampires are kind of dumb here. So they're going to get stasis drained too, and I'm just hammering on the Y button and they're not listening. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So unfortunately, I'm going to be the loser on this battle, but it's going to delay these vampires long enough for Yellow to make this push on the base. So he has to deal with my vampires because they will shred his units if he has to deal with this first because, you know, my vampires will shred his vampires. And unfortunately, this buys my allies some time to make a push on this base up here. So I'm like, yeah, I got to get my vampires back out. Unfortunately, I don't know what's about vampires with me here. So here, I'm going to push out some brute squads out of both bases. And I'm going to be like, yeah, we're going to go right there. Yellow is stripping this base pretty bad. I did a pretty good job, even though I was on the losing end of that encounter there. And then I'm going to research the electric shot now and get some more vampires on the field. Now, the electric shot is pretty good, and they're able to take this base down, even though I lost the encounter with the vampires because my vampires were just really stupid for some reason. But I still delayed them long enough for my teammates to do what they needed to do. So here I'm about to come up with the Mad Lad strats. And so they're getting out of there. Blue's getting his units out of there because, you know, they've taken down one of Green's bases, which is good enough for him. And, okay, I'm about to research Assault Beam here, so my hunters are going to be devastating against vehicle units. And there's ODSTs there. I don't know why he dropped them in. He should have just recuperated. Maybe he was going to put some damage on those vampires because infantry is a soft counter to there. And here I go. I'm going to get followers because I need it to get my population back to where I want to be. Because I am going to be reliant on vampires here still. So now I've added brutes to the brute squads to my army mix. And you know, it's great because I'm going to get followers. They're only going to take up 10 units. They're not like the hunters and the vampires, which take up 2 units and really clog up your population. So I'm just going to wait for my population to go back up. And I think I'm in a really good spot right now because I'm Tech 3. I'm getting all my Tech 3 research done. Blue is pushing up here. That Mac is going to do nothing because that tank was already dead. And the second Mac blast misses. I think that was Green's. So it sucks to be him. And I'm like, oh crap, there's Jackals in the center. So my strategy is going to... So now I get followers so I can pump out a few more vampires. I can get 5 more vampires and now I'm in a good position.
All units.
So he's got vampires, but I don't have enough vampires. So I got to pump out a few more vampires. I'm waiting for all my brute squads to get over here.
Inheritance research.
So Teal Chieftain is over there. And his vampires are over there. And I like this because, you know, he's got Jackals in the back too. So they're back there. Is this where I'm going to push in with the absolute Mad Lad strats? Oh, yes. So here we go. I'm going to drop my brute squads through the teleporter. And I'm like, okay, there's Jackals there, so I've got to get them up there as fast as possible.
Electric shot, research.
So unfortunately, the first brute squad dies. And I'm like, yo, push up. I got to get up here. And the rest of my brute squads do not come through. So I attack that, and the absolute mad strats are at work. And unfortunately, my brute squads are just being really dumb. I don't know what they're doing right now. So I'm flaring, hoping that yellow's going to throw ODSTs in here as well, because I'm going with the Mad Lad strats. And unfortunately, I fail with the Mad Lad strats on the first one because I just have bad luck with my units sometimes.
Local units.
So here I'm just going to keep spamming local units down here to get them to safety.
I'm ready. Local units.
So this actually works on both sides of the map. I did this in a skirmish on easy mode to make sure because a lot of people like to turtle on this map. I don't know why Yellow is bringing his air units up here. He should be going to a different base. Now, these brutes are doing really good damage to the shield generator. I just wish I could have gotten more of them through. If I had 10 units here, they would have been able to strip. So his vampires show up. And I guess he notices Yellow's units over here. So I'm trying to micro this, and it didn't really go as well as I wanted in this first push with it because the brute squads were just dumb. My vampires have been dumb, and I had actually brought my vampires up here to stasis drain these guys so that Yellow could. I guess I forgot about this.
Local units.
So yeah, here I go. I'm going in. I'm getting his vampires. Yellow's able to get his hornets over there. We're doing this. Let's go. All right, so the strats are paying off. They're bringing over Wolverines to help out, but you know they're attacking other bases, and I'm running into confusion here. So this is good for me. So I kind of want to get my vampires out of the way of those Wolverines. So I move them over there, stasis these guys, Teal Chieftain's not having a good day right now, so I'm going to craft a few more vampires. Blue's pushing up on Red's base. We probably should have went to Green's base because they're all out of position right now. I'm killing these engineers. They're not having a good time right now. So he's got his jackals up here too, because brute squads. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to go scout out, see if Green expoed here again. And I'm going to push out some more brute units and try this again. So Teal is getting stripped pretty bad. That vampire on vampire, that hot vampire on vampire action was good. So I failed to get them over there, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be able to correct this. Green has expoed again. I see a field armory. I see a turret. I don't really want to do anything here. So Teal loses his expo because of my delaying actions. So I'm just rebuilding here. Got a healthy eco. Kind of ignored by Brute Chieftain. I see that one of those is down. So I'm like, maybe I should try to seize that. I wonder... But I can see it right there. Yeah. There's still jackals there. That's kind of a rough shot to take. He's in the garrison, but, you know, against 2 jackals, he's not going to win.
All units.
So I'm like, what should I do here? So yellow's over here stripping red's base now.
Repositioning. Eager to fight.
And I'm still trying to get my population back up. Looks like blue wants through. This is just rough, man.
All units.
Yeah, if they would have gotten me in that first push. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take my hunters up to Green's base, and because Green's probably helping them, so I'm positioning my hunters up here. Because what I'm gonna encounter with Green is gonna be vehicles, so it's not gonna be that tough for me to handle that with 10 hunters. It might canister shell glitch me, but that's just a risk I'm gonna have to take. So I flare him. Let me through. These hunters got to go get Green's base. I'm gonna attack that turret. And while I believe while I'm attacking Green's base, I'm gonna go in with the Mad Lat strats on Teal's main base again.
Enemy engagement.
So yeah, I got to get these turrets down because they're gonna put down some passive damage on my hunters. These are assault beam hunters. I see a vehicle depot back here. I'm like, I want to take that out. Because that'll stop Green from making units. And Green's like, oh shit! I got hunters on my base, so he drops in ODSTs.
Local units. Local units. All units. For the profits. Local units. Leaving. Let's go. Enemy engagement. Local units. Local units. Earthright research. Local units. Local units. Let's go. Local units. Vortex upgrade. Local units. Let's go. Track them down. All units. All units. Brute, eager to fight. Brute, ready to go. All units. All units. All units. I will. All units. I'm going. Brute, eager to fight. Brute, ready for action. Brute here. All units. All units. I hear you. Enemy engagement. Local units. Local units. Jumping. Local units. Enemy engagement. Local units. Local units. Local units. Local units. Local units. All units. Move up. Freeze them. All units. Local units. Grind them to dust. Local units. Enemy engagement. Local units. Local units. All units. units.
Unfortunately, I had my microphone muted there, so yeah, we're doing great here. I wish I didn't have my microphone muted. I wonder how long I had it muted. So yeah, I got the Seagull unit here attacking this expo.
Local units.
It's taking quite a bit of damage.
Eager to fight. All units. Ready for action.
So yeah, I think this game is coming up. Is going to wrap up really soon because, you know, they've been pushed so hard. This guy resigns. Teal Chieftain's out. Yeah, red and teal are out, and green's the last man standing. So I'm just gonna stand here and watch because my population has kind of been demolished. So I'm just gonna let my teammates do the rest of the work because they've got more forces on the field. And I'm just gonna watch this go down. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check my population again.
All units.
So yeah, this goes from me being on the back foot from a rush to absolutely demolishing them. Now, I wish I would be able to get more brute squad play in there because their electric shot is supposed to work like Anders Gremlin's disabling beam. But it doesn't work quite as well because Anders Gremlins, it always has a charge ready, and you use the charge, and it can disable multiple vehicles. The way the Brute Squads work is there's a chance that one of the shots the Brutes shoot out is going to be an electric shot, and if it hits a vehicle, it will disable it. So one of these days, I want to try to get them over there because they do have the jump pack, so maybe if one of my teammates pushed up with their vehicles, or if I was able to push up with wraiths, I could get them behind and just micro them to shoot an individual vehicle on the other side and slowly disable their vehicles to give me the advantage there.
All units.
So yeah, this was a proof of concept I came up, and I wanted to see it. You know, I worked on it in the easy mode in a skirmish because the AI does nothing in easy mode, and I wanted to know, with the jump pack, could I jump up on either side of Fort Deen? And it turns out that yeah, you can. So I was eager to use this in gameplay and see that if it was an actually valid strat that would work out in a 3v3, because you don't see a lot of brute squads in 3v3 beyond the initial rush. So yeah, I was very happy that I was able to get this to work out. Now, you can also do this with the Elite Honor Guards because they have the cloak, so you could send them through with the cloak and they won't be noticed, and you can just go send them up like your ally. If he's Cutter, he could use that as an advantage to ODST drop. Kind of like when you send the Arbiter in with his final upgrade. Because the Arbiter is permanently cloaked and allows him to stealth, so you can get the Grunts and the Elite Honor Guards that way through, as long as you research the cloak ability. So I brought my Hunters up to deal with this guy's vehicles. And I want to get a little action in here. Unfortunately, I'm losing my Hunters. I wish Blue would have attacked his infantry because that would have helped me out. But yeah, that's all she wrote for this game. Super pleased I was able to get that brute squad, even though it failed the first time. And you know, I had some difficulty working with my brute squads and my vampires there, but it worked out. So this was a pretty good game. But I came in 5th place because I didn't do as much damage as my teammates and them.